the fighting men and women of the United States Navy, a military unit that is the epitome of professionalism, patriotism, and sense of self-sacrifice. These men and women are able to take the fight to any tyrant across any ocean and in any sea. These men and women truly compose what can be only called a global force for good. However, somebody needs to tell them that their officer ranks are just freaking stupid. Today we're going to cover the U.S. Navy officer ranks. Now we're not going to actually cover the emblems because that's been covered in the original video, which was entitled Military Officer Ranks Are Freaking Stupid, link below. So we're just going to arrange those the way they should be, and instead we're going to concentrate on the titles given to the Officer Corps of the United States Navy. And these begin from Ensign and go all the way up to Fleet Admiral. Starting with the 6 lower ranks, Ensign to Captain. The biggest problem we have here is repetition, repetition, repetition. Let me show you what I mean. Starting with Ensign, we don't have a problem with Ensign. It's original, it's unique, it conveys that he's a new guy, so we're actually going to leave Ensign alone. We're fine with Ensign. The problem begins with the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th rank title. If you notice, after Ensign you become a Lieutenant, junior grade, and then you become a Lieutenant, and if you get promoted once again, you become a Lieutenant Commander. That's 3 lieutenants. That's 3 out of the 6 ranks. Literally 50% of them have the word lieutenant in it. So if you make it all the way to captain, half the time you're a lieutenant. Makes absolutely no sense. Now, as it's to accentuate the lack of creativity, look at the last one, Lieutenant Commander. After you become a Lieutenant Commander, you become a Commander. Makes absolutely no sense. If I introduce myself as a commander and you're a lieutenant commander, you have a longer title, hence it would assume that you are higher in rank, which of course you would not be. So the whole thing needs to be scrapped. I mean, what's the difference between, if we're going to have a lieutenant commander, why don't we have a captain commander? It's the same thing. You're borrowing from each one to come up with the title for the guy in the middle. So that's not going to work. We're going to have to scrap just about everything here. Okay, this is how you fix the rank structure for the lower 6 ranks. First of all, as stated before, Ensign we're fine with. We're going to leave Ensign. After you make Ensign, you get promoted. And then you're going to become a Lieutenant. That's it. Just a Lieutenant. Very nice, very classic name. After you make a Lieutenant, you're going to get promoted. And you're going to become a Captain. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Captain is the head of the boat, and that we'll get to that. We'll get to that. After you make captain, you're going to get promoted, you will become a commander. Just a commander, that's it, nothing else. Now, after commander, the guy that used to be a commander, we need a brand new title for him. The only thing that is logical, the only thing that makes sense, the only thing that I think everybody's going to agree on is that the title for this guy should be the Big Chingon. So after you make the Big Chingon, now you're going to move on to what used to be captain. Now, this captain for the Army, the Air Force, and the Marines is a colonel. But I understand the Navy is very steeped in tradition. In fact, naval tradition precedes the Navy because naval tradition has been passed on from country to country and it was inherited by the United States Navy. Hence, there's all kinds of captains. Even a civilian in charge of a merchant vessel is still referred to as a captain. So we can't just discard the title of captain, but we already have a captain back here. So this is what we're going to do. This guy back here is going to be captain. This guy over here is going to be called the captain. So whenever a captain calls mobility to complain about he's getting shipped on another boat, or finance because finance screwed up his pay again, he will introduce himself as Captain Smith. If he's the higher ranking, when he calls up to complain that he's going on another deployment or that his pay got screwed up, he will introduce himself as the Captain Smith, and therefore everybody knows exactly who they're talking to. That's how you fix the lower 6. Moving on to the Admiral ranks. This is the problems with the Admiral ranks. Looking at the first one, Rear Admiral, lower half. And I say this with absolutely all the respect in the world because these men and women, they serve proper titles. If ever there was a gay porn film with a military theme, this would be the title. Rear Admiral, lower half. And if that wasn't bad enough, as soon as you get promoted, you become a Rear Admiral, upper half, which might as well be the sequel to the same gay porn film. From there, if you get promoted, you become a Vice Admiral. If you go to Google and you define vice, this is exactly what you get. Immoral or wicked. Second definition, criminal activity involving prostitution, pornography, or drugs. Third, immoral or wicked personal character. Ladies and gentlemen, a Vice Admiral is a man or a woman with 3 stars upon their shoulders. This is an epitome of a man or woman of professional dedication and intelligence. To call him or her a drug-dealing pimp is absolutely unacceptable. We must change the title Vice immediately. Now, if you get promoted from Vice Admiral and you make 4 stars, this is the highest rank you can achieve. This is literally the ceiling in the United States Navy because there are no 5-star generals currently. Then you become an admiral. Just an admiral. No other title, just admiral. That title is entirely too plain for a person that has achieved such unbelievable success, so obviously we need to add something to the word admiral. Alright, this is how you fix the admirals. First of all, in order to make it easy for the fine, outstanding Navy recruits, which are the absolute pick of the litter, cream of the crop, we're going to simplify, and simplify. This guy here, 1 star, 1 class. Here we go. Admiral first class, Admiral second class, Admiral third class, and Admiral fourth class. Simple, elegant. I save this guy here for last. Fleet Admiral. This is a 5-star admiral. This guy has hit the ceiling and busted through it and made another star. The title seems, although elegant, it does seem a little plain. Fleet Admiral. Now, he does command an entire fleet, but somehow it seems to be missing something. So this guy, we're just going to add a little something just to make it a little nicer. This guy, we're going to call him Fleet Admiral, lower half.